So guys, you ever noticed how the pros are always, before they get a shot, in their back pocket, they bring out their planner. The caddy has a planner and they go through the hole. What they're doing is they've planned out a strategy for that golf hole. They've put in where they want to put the ball, where they want to miss it, and they've got something that they're going to execute to that plan. What we're going to take a look at here is how you can execute from a plan and be able to attack the hole and play the golf like the pros do, and it's to give you the best possible chance of breaking 70. So I'm stood here on the third green, okay, and having a look at the hole from the green backwards. So the first thing to note is that this green sits at an angle. I'm stood working straight up it, but relative to the tee box, which is over here, it sits at an angle. So where your tee shot is going to finish is going to be dependent on whether you're hitting down the green or across the green. Okay, so that's going to be key, because that's going to mean how easy the hole is from a visual aspect. We've got a huge bunker here front right, got a pond there front left. They're two absolute dead zones. I don't want to go anywhere near them. I've got a short iron in my hand. I don't want to bring those two bits into play. They're going to, bunker might not cost me a shot. Water hazard is definitely costing me a shot. So on the planner, they are getting a cross. They are a I do not go there moment. Back right pin, what I'm looking at here is there's a run off here, and going long it goes into a dip and chases away. I don't want to be long, so making a note. But if there's anything back right from the angle I'm going to be going into, I'm making a note that that's sort of like a red amber pin. I'm going to get a bit more left of it, so it just gives me an easy putt straight up the green. I'm making a note here that there's a slope from the back to the front this way. So if I'm at the left side, I'm actually putting up the hill, and if I'm actually short of it, again, I've got an uphill putt. So I don't really want to be long, because I can't be as aggressive as I want to be with my putt. So that's again going into the planner on the side, making a note saying I want to make sure that I'm short of the hole if it's back right. I consider anything in this left area here and short being a real green pin. I can really attack it. I just need to make sure that I get the right distance control. So making sure that the short iron I'm hitting in, I get it at least pitching up to flag high. I don't want to be short, because if I'm too far short and I take anything like offline, it's going to catch these slopes and bring these hazards back into play. Now, having a look at the angle that we spoke to off the tee, I'm having a look here at the fairway. It runs down, and I can see that I want to be on the left-hand side of the fairway. I've got trees here on the right-hand side. It's only a short hole, but if I try and take a driver up near the green, I bring this pond, the trees, and a stream all into play. Not a very sensible move. The one time it might come off, I might come off with an eagle, but I probably make a lot of double bogeys. So what I'm looking at is, I'm going to always try and make sure I hit up the left-hand side, and what else I'm factoring in is the tee box relative to the fairway is elevated, so the ball's going to chase down. So as long as I play something off the tee, for me, with a little draw, it's going to feed down towards that left-hand side of the fairway, and it doesn't have to be a perfect tee shot. It needs to land about 210, and it'll chase out down that hill no matter what the conditions. Really firm in the summer, it'll bounce a bit further. Earlier in the season or into autumn, it'll bounce a bit less, but it'll still give me the yardage I want. What else I'm factoring in is I'm going to probably have the ball above my feet unless I get it right down to the very bottom. So therefore, the second shot probably draw in a little bit, okay? So I'm not going to fight that, I'm just going to play with those conditions. And again, I'm making a note of that on the plan. What we're looking at is where we're going to hit the ball into is about 30 yards. The biggest fat of the fairway is here. As I look back at it, it's 40 yards. But because of the angle I'm hitting to it on the tee shot, its effective area is 18. So that's a huge difference, because I've got 18, it's half that size. I want to hit it in the big bit. Okay, if I get it right down to the flat, right in the bottom corner, that would be absolutely perfect for the angle up the green. But if I'm short of it, I can still access any of the pins wherever they are located. So the key for me is knowing where I'm going to miss, which I've put on the planner. There's no amber pins on here, it's not too dangerous. There's just red and a green pin. I'm making sure I know where not to put it, where to miss it. So if I'm missing it with a short iron, really it's making sure I'm long enough. So if anything, if the pin's short middle, I want to be past the pin, and if it's the back of the green, I want to be just on the short side. That gives me the best chance to make birdie. So I'm playing attacking golf, but also bearing in mind that there are pitfalls on a golf hole like this, because on a short hole, they make it tricky around the greens. Therefore, that's why it's still a difficult hole, because it's not just a short one, you can smack it on in one. So what we're going to do is head back to the tee, play the hole out now, looking at what we've planned out on the planner and seeing how we can execute it. So back here on the third tee, it's only 362, but I want to be leaving myself, from what I've marked up on the planner, sort of 132nd shot means I need to hit it 230 off the tee. So they're going to hit a 2 iron to just knock it down there. There's a hybrid 2. I'm going to aim we know that there's the trees on the right hand side, which is 160 in. And then from 160 in, we know that it's going to bring in the trees, it's going to give a more difficult second shot to access the different locations on the hole. And it's going to give me a bit more difficulty in terms of getting the ball closer. Really, if I'm wedging it, I'm looking at a birdie chance. So what I'm going to be aiming for is to hit an iron up the middle with a little draw. I don't want the ball to go too far. Like you might think 360 could take driver on, but this is a strategy hole. There's a lot of water in play. So I don't want to go near that water. I just want to hit this up the left with that 2-iron and then make sure that we sort of like get that ball more in play. So just get this one down there. So that gives us the option with that second shot. So aiming up the middle, little draw with the 2-iron. Though I didn't quite strike it, it's absolutely A1, so we're going to be right in the middle of the fairway there for a wedge into the green. So the tee shots end up in a really good spot here, got 95 yards in, so looking at the planner right here, we know that just perfect spot past the tree. Pin's in a really good location here, so it's sort of in that front area, but the great thing is, apart from if the pin was back right where we'd have to go over the track, we're absolutely perfect here, just firing straight up the green. So it's giving me a good angle, ball slightly above the feet, so probably just going to draw in a little bit more than I want it to. So play a nice easy 3/4 52. And the plan's worked out nicely just because from here you can see right up the hole. If I was further left there, I can see up the full length of the green. But if I take that up that right side, I can't really access it anywhere apart from the front pin location. So knowing where I needed to hit it off the tee and building that into the plan and writing it down was absolutely vital to my success on this shot. So little 3/4 52. So that's a pretty good little shot in there, just nestled up sort of like 10-15 feet, but it's really good. So what we've been able to do, the big thing is knowing where the green is angled at, where we're going to try and get close to the flag and where to hit it off the tee has meant that we're going to give ourselves birdie opportunities on holes that are going to be accessible. So what's key is, as we spoke about in the plan, is knowing where the different hole locations are. That's a green flag, I can totally go at that, I can be really, really aggressive. If it's back right, I won't be as aggressive unless I've got really far left off the tee, but I won't know that stood on that tee. So that's more of sort of a green amber flag, where I know a shot that 15, 18, 20 foot is going to be a good one. So it's knowing those different hole locations on that traffic light system is absolutely vital, because you can then be super aggressive if you know what that flag location is. It's marked up on your planner once again. And it means that without you having to think about things on the fly, you've actually created a plan and then you're executing to that plan whilst you're out on the course. Okay, so we can see the ball's kind of finished on the green right here. It's sort of just over 15 feet away. Drew a little bit off the lie, you know, we're expecting to slightly ball above the feet, but as we can see here, slightly downhill putt, but there's nothing too much to worry about. Obviously, this is the wide area of the green at the back, but the bunker ends up being in the way. You can't really see that from the fairway, how much space there is. Again, that's another thing that you note up in the planner. But for us, we knew that this was the green flag, so we're just going to have a little go. Let's see what score we can make. It's going to be, should definitely be no worse than 4 right here. We'll give ourselves this little look here for birdie. And it's the key is knowing that when you've knocked it into these areas of the green where you can access the holes, you're really giving yourself the best chance at creating birdies on holes that you would consider to, you know, you want to make shots up on. Obviously there's tough holes on the course out there, and they're the holes that you're really just trying to make sure that you make your par on. Oh, I thundered that one a bit, right? Never mind, little tapping for 4. So what we'd see here is it's really important to mark up that planner, knowing where you're going to hit it and where you're going to miss it. They're the 2 big bits, because if you know where not to go, it means that you can always have a plan in place, the clubs you're going to use off the tee, where you're going to play your second shot, and this is going to be massive in terms of you being able to break 70. Having this in play, in my opinion, is one of the big keys to elite golf. Is what I see the best players doing it is that they do walk that course backwards on the first day when they get to an event. It allows them to get a completely different perspective on the golf course. Then they go out there and they tweak that plan further in a practice round. So if this is your home club, why not spend a day walking the course backwards, then go out there, have a few rounds, see what you think of it, tweak that plan, and therefore then you're going to be ready for any eventuality. Depending on what club you use off the tee might change from wind, direction, conditions, etc. But if you've got a bit of a blueprint, then it can be adaptable. Hopefully you've enjoyed this series, guys. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Thanks for watching, and talk with you again very soon.